Hello and welcome to my review of the Chaos Space Marine Rhino, and this model will cost you £23.50. Now this is the Death Guard one that I've created using the Death Guard Rhino doors. These are sort of pre-heresy doors, but I just prefer them to the other ones, so I've used them on this. But I've still got like the launcher on there. I've got a storm bolter or combi bolter, and got the doors left and right. I've put some hooks on. Yeah, it went together pretty well. There's lots and lots of spikes and things that I didn't use. I used a little Nurgle sort of icon there, but yeah, you could really Nurgle it up if you wanted to. The door opens and closes, so that's pretty awesome. Put some smoke launchers on and so on. So yeah, went together quite well. It's just your normal Rhino tank really that has been around for a long time. I want to say 17 years, maybe 18 years. It's been around a long time. Still tried and tested, still stayed the same size, hasn't had a sort of size increase or anything like that. £1 more than a normal Space Marine Rhino, which is quite a good deal actually, because you get everything the Space Marine Rhino does, well, with the exception of the Space Marine upgrade sprue. Instead, for that extra £1, you get the Chaos Space Marine sprue. You get the Chaos Vehicle upgrade sprue, but it does have a lot of spikes and things on there. You're definitely getting more for your money in this kit. But if you're thinking of getting this kit and then selling the main Space Marine parts, well, you just don't get them. So it's either one or the other, unfortunately. However, saying that, you probably might have a load of spare parts anyway for normal Space Marine kits. So there is that option too. But there you go. There's my Death Guard Rhino. Looks pretty good. What I'll do is I'll just show you some size comparisons. I've got a Death Guard Space Marine here, just a normal one. What I will say is, because the Rhino has stayed the same size and the individual models have increased in size, it is looking a bit silly now, saying that you can fit 10 of these guys in there. Maybe 6 at a push, but nowhere near 10. So that's one thing that you have to bear in mind, that if you're running a few of these Rhinos, it's going to look a bit odd having all these, you know, spiky sort of Plague Marines and things jump out. Next to a normal Space Marine though, it sort of almost makes sense. You could maybe fit 8 or so in that Rhino. And then Primaris, well, Primaris, we can't even go there, can we? You know, you can't fit any Primaris in the Rhino apparently, because they're just not allowed at all. I'll just show you it next to a Dreadnought. Yeah, it's a fair bit bigger than Dreadnought. I mean, it is a tank at the end of the day, not a walker. So there you go. Hope that helps. And this is my part of the review where I will go through all of the rules. And the rules I'm using for the Chaos Rhino are in the Death Guard Codex. There's still a few models that I need to review in the Death Guard Codex, like the Land Raider and the Hell Brute. I will get round to them as soon as I can. But for now, let's just talk about the Rhino. So the Rhino is a transport option. It's the only transport option in the Death Guard Codex. It will cost you 4 power points, and in match play it will cost you 70 points. Obviously then you need to buy the weapons. Mine's got Havoc Launcher, which will cost you 11 points, that's 81 points. And then it's just got a normal combi bolter, which is 2 points, 83 points mine then costs. Let's go through its stat line. So it's one of these vehicles or units that its stat line is affected with the amount of damage that it takes. So I'll just read its stat line base. So its movement is 12 inches, its weapon skill is 6+, ballistic skill 3+, strength 6, toughness 7, 10 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 8, and a save of 3+. Now, it gets its 12-inch movement and ballistic skill 3+ and attacks 3 with its remaining wounds between 6 and 10. When the wounds are between 3 and 5, it drops half speed to 6 inches and its ballistic skill goes down to 4+, and its attacks are only D3. And then when it's got 1 to 2 wounds, its movement drops all the way down to 3 inches, its ballistic skill drops to 5+, and it only gets 1 attack. You know, but it does have toughness 7, and it only has 1 less wound than a Predator. So please bear that in mind, that Rhinos are pretty durable in this edition, you know, with their toughness 7, rather than before when you had armor values on the front of like 13 for a Predator and only 11 for the Rhino. And similar to the size, I think Predators were 12 and Rhinos were 11. The weapons that I've put on it is the Combi Bolter and the Havoc Launcher. Now the Combi Bolter is a 24-inch range weapon. It's rapid fire 2, strength 4, AP nothing and damage 1. You know, so you get into your 2 shots or whatever at strength 4. The Havoc Launcher, however, is a whopping 48-inch range. This is one of the reasons why I got it. It's heavy D6 though, so you do have a chance of getting 6 shots, and it's strength 5, AP nothing, damage 1. So it's a nice little, you know, anti-personnel kind of weapon with the strength 5 and, you know, maybe 6 shots a turn. So war gear options, it can take a Havoc Launcher, which mine has, and an item from the Combi weapons list. Abilities, self-repair. Roll a dice at the start of each of your turns, and on a 6, this model regains 1 lost wound. Now that is brilliant. That's something that the Predators don't have. Predators have 1 more wound and the same toughness, but they don't have self-repair. And I think the ability to regain lost wounds on a 6 every turn far outweighs, you know, 1 more wound, definitely. Smoke launchers. Once per game, instead of shooting any weapons in the shooting phase, this model can use its smoke launchers until your next shooting phase. Your opponent must subtract 1 from all hit rolls for ranged weapons that target this vehicle. That's pretty good too, but you can only use that once per game and instead of any shooting weapons. Explodes. If the model is reduced to 0 wounds, you roll a d6 before removing it from the battlefield and before any embarked models disembark. On a 6, it explodes, and each unit within 6 inches suffers D3 mortal wounds. That's pretty good. You drive it close to the enemy, and any of those models within the 6 inches, on a 6 though, suffer, could be, you know, up to 3 mortal wounds. And that's the same as the Chaos Predator with the explode rules and the smoke launchers rules. It can transport 10 Death Guard infantry models, however it cannot transport Terminators. Its keywords are Chaos, Nurgle, Heretic, Astartes, Death Guard, Vehicle Transport, Chaos, Rhino. So there you go, they're all the rules. It's pretty decent. I definitely have it to transport Death Guard in, much better than having them foot slog across the battlefield, unless they've got a heavy weapon or 2. It is more durable than the Predator, I want to say, even though the Predator's like double the points. Obviously, with the Chaos Predator though, you are getting, you know, a high damage output. It's got a purpose, which is to cause damage. You know, with the las cannons, you know, again with the Predator, you could have the Havoc launcher on there. The Predator autocannon is now 2d3, so you could get 6 shots out of that, possibly if you roll well, and then 6 from the Havoc launcher, and then 3 from each of the heavy bolters. So you're looking at almost 20 shots there, well, with the Combi Bolter for a Chaos Predator. So it's a lot of DACA coming out of the Predator, whereas the Rhino, yeah, it has that 48-inch heavy weapon in a way, and it's quite survivable in that it can regain the lost wounds. It's just a shame that all the Chaos vehicles don't have Disgustingly Resilient. It's really odd that the Plague Bear's Crawler does. You know, I know it's a new kit or whatnot that they brought out at £40, but it would be nice if the Rhino and the Predator in this Death Guard Codex had a sort of special ability like Disgustingly Resilient. Even the Chaos Land Raider, that would be cool too, because you know, the Defiler has his infernal regeneration. Plagueburst Crawler has the Disgustingly Resilient. Even the Blight Haulers and the Fetid Bloat Drones have their Disgustingly Resilient. So it would be nice just if we had you know, that for all the vehicles too, to carry that theme over. But as it stands, you know, on paper, it's just a normal Space Marine Rhino, but with a Havoc launcher, unfortunately. But yeah, it would be nice if they fleshed out the vehicles a bit more for Death Guard and for the other Chaos factions, of course. You know, maybe have some kind of alluring presence for a Slanesh one where models must target that vehicle or have a minus hit modifier on it, or something like that. It would be cool if they had Chaos faction specific abilities for their vehicles. Anyway, I've gone on for far too long. What do you guys think of the Chaos Rhino? Please do put it in the comments below. I will definitely get another one of these Rhinos. I think Rhinos are brilliant and they're a great way to transport your Death Guard army. But if I am going to get another one, I'll probably get a Deimos pattern, which is a pricey way to go. You know, we're talking £33 for one Rhino, which is a good £10 more, getting a Forge World one, and it won't come with a Havoc launcher or anything like that, which is a shame because GW actually make more money if I bought a Chaos Rhino kit and then just the parts for the Deimos pattern, you know, to upgrade it to a Deimos. I say upgrade it, but you know what I mean, change the aesthetics of it. Anyway, how many Rhinos do you use in your Death Guard army? Put it in the comments below. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. Papa bless.